In the DL Wheelchair Self-Defense course, we talk about the different principles we apply to defend ourselves, how to strike correctly, the different strikes to use. What I'd like to do here is just touch on another little principle we can use when we're out and about, situational awareness. Sometimes when people hear about situational awareness, they think it's about being paranoid. But if you think about if you drive, or even if you're a passenger, and you're on a highway or a motorway, 3 lanes of traffic, you become very quickly aware of the cars to your left and the cars to your right, and you get a sense of maybe somebody's going to cut in front of you, and you're reading the road ahead, you're looking in the mirror to get a sense of what's coming up behind you. Situational awareness when we're out and about is following the same principle. So really what we're talking about is just being aware of our environment. Doesn't mean being paranoid and when we go out pushing around and looking as if we're a scared rabbit. It's about just taking that little bit of time to read the environment around us. If we use the colour principle, which is white, yellow, orange and red. White is when we're totally turned off. We've got our headphones in, we're in a world of our own, or we're looking at our mobile phone as we go along, and we see nothing. We don't see the guy that's standing up at the corner, maybe sizing up who he's going to see if he can maybe rob a mobile phone or something else. Yellow is when we're turned on. We're pushing along, we're enjoying ourselves, but we're just every so often, the same as we do when we're driving, we're assessing the situation around us. We're looking ahead, just seeing if we see anything that looks a little bit unusual. Orange is when we see something. We see somebody we're not comfortable with. That's when we have to make a judgment, what we do after that. For example, if you really feel unsure and you feel that maybe something is going to kick off, you see a couple of guys hanging around a corner, whatever it is, see if there's somewhere you can go in, a shop or whatever. Don't continue and say to yourself, I'm just being stupid. If you get a sense that something is not right, turn around gradually, maybe pick up your phone as if you've got a call, stall, turn around and go back. Or as I said, if there's a store or a shop, just go in there and wait for a while. Red is when we have to take action. Red is when somebody has maybe ambushed us and we have to respond. That's where the techniques in the course come into play. But here, as I said, I want to talk about the colour white, which is when we're turned off, yellow when we're switched on and aware, and orange when we assess the situation. So get into the habit of when you're out and about pushing, particularly if you're in a city or a town that is not somewhere you're familiar with. For example, I've pretty much travelled over most of Europe, some of America, Canada, Asia, including Nepal. And when I'm in a strange city, I turn on that little bit more just to be aware. If I can give a quick example, some years ago I was working in Copenhagen, staying in a hotel, got bored that evening, did something that really isn't very smart, decided to go down to the train station to see if I could get a newspaper or a magazine. Pushed down to the railway station, which was a big complex, lots of shops. As I went in and out of the shops, in code yellow, which is I was switched on, I was being aware of my environment, I noticed every time I moved from one store to another that there was a guy moving up along the wall across the far side of the station. He was definitely watching me. Went into another store, came out, saw definitely that he was following me. So what I did was I let him see that I was aware that he was following me. Went back into the store. He didn't know whether I had said something to the store owner. I waited because I could see what time the next train was in. The next time the train arrived in, a load of passengers got off, moved with them, moved back out onto the street, went back down to my hotel and reminded myself that it wasn't a very smart move to make. But if I hadn't been turned on and switched on, I'm not sure what would have happened. But that to me is what good situational awareness is. It's not about being paranoid, it's just being aware of your environment around you. Simple little process.